Undoubtedly, there are one or two areas with crime, but for the most part, it's a beautiful, peaceful, and wonderful country.
Say weed in a bush, we don't want the chalice done. Orange, give me a flipping phone. Make shanty bun a flipping clown. Some boy can't swim in a grandy, them a flipping down. Then them a search him, we can be flipping sound. Because we're in the flipping town. We're in the herbs of the money, we not a flipping frown. The euro, the US, and the flipping pound. Yeah, the officer, it's a land of paradise, Jamaica land. We love. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy. Shut it, make you know, you know.
Jamaica is a very big island in the Caribbean. It's one of the biggest. It's very interesting to see how it's actually divided in two regions. The climate in Jamaica is very different in the east than it is in the west. The west part of the island is definitely a little bit drier, and it enjoys more sun overall in the year, while on the east part of the island it rains a lot more, and it's lush, it's green, it's a lot more tropical in a way.
It's just people around, tell me who can be against that. It's just people around, we will never be afraid. It's just people around, tell me who can be against that.
How far are we from the equator here?
Not too far. We are closer to the tropic than to the equator.
Yeah, how many degrees from the equator? Because that's above
15.
15. And what makes this Orange Hill so the best in the west here? Because everybody keeps raving about, you guys have a great pot by the way, about, is that because the sun is longer here?
Yeah, the sun is one of the main things.
The sun is one of the main things on Orange Hill.
Right.
The place, I mean,
place,
sun,
yes,
soil,
yes,
temperature,
right,
water, the place,
right.
you know? The grower, the place, the
Right,
genetics.
right,
If it comes together, you can see the result.
Right, big and serious.
Yeah, look how green,
And
huh?
they're really handling the equator. Or
Hey Simon, every artist, reggae Jamaican artist you could think about, big famous, they always talk about West. West always has
The
for
best.
centuries. They carry the title.
In the West, you can say the different way of growing there has a lot to do with the climate. You see that the ocean water is getting pushed through the rocks. It's a kind of cleaning system, and in the end, the plants get a lot of good minerals. They get a lot of air because they're growing in this rocky area, and they have this dry wind there.
Look, it's pretty soft rock. Huh.
Amazing. Amazing.
Every 2 days water. Every day. Whoa, what man? And also the reason of this white thing is that you keep the plant low, the roots don't shoot really deep in the ground because of the rock.
Chemical.
No chemical, so you don't you smoke organic weed. Don't forget, all the pot all over the world is fertilized, gets its other taste, people don't flush it properly. And now here you have original organic, and also look the space they use. You see that? Because he could put them much closer to each other,
True.
but he probably swaps the tires to another piece of the rock,
To get minerals and
and then they play around in the same field. It also means you don't have to swap fields like this,
Yeah.
huh?
The rain doesn't get
And the soil, with this iron in, is not.
Yeah, you can crumble it.
But normally you wonder where's the air, you know.
Yeah.
But here apparently it's not a problem.
And as soon as the roots dig in the rock material, there's pockets of air like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect created microclimate thing here with for the plants. Fantastic.
Orange Hill is really a legend because it's known to be the place where the finest Jamaican grade comes from. When we went to Orange Hill, we saw probably the highest mix of external genetics that we ever encountered on the island during our trip. Wow, this is a sweet purple. It's a flowery sweet purple. Normally purple hair plants are more soury, but this one is fruity.
You see that a lot of influences from Europe and America came in here the last 10 years. Frank and I found a lot of our own plants growing everywhere. You see a lot of plants coming from South America, growing everywhere.
And it was very interesting to see how by mixing 1 or 2 or 3 generations with the local pollen, all this variety has created amazing crossings. There were purple all over the place, and this purple was penetrating into the genes of the white reader, into the genes of the cushes and the train wrecks, creating an amazing array of varieties.
Chris, what we have here?
what you call an orange hill skunk.
Orange Hill skunk.
Yes, sir.
There's actually several strains around there.
Yes,
There's
yes,
some purple, some kush.
yes.
This is like 3-4 weeks in flowering. It has
Yeah.
3-4 weeks to go, and it's going to be amazing. The seeds sprout, and there's basically 12-12. So there's no growth time. They just go up, shoot flower.
You just grow the whole year around,
It's non-stop.
non-stop.
Shanty, and them fi know a shanty, yeah. Representing earthly smoking. Alright then.
Let me get this straight. The seawater goes through the rock, loses the salt, gets enriched with minerals, and gets pumped to the container. Respect. Yeah, I still taste a little salty.
Yeah.
Not too much.
If it's cold, you can drink it. Even if it's warm, you can drink it. And me, I want some right now to fucking drink.
So we are here in one of the secrets of Orange Hills, the coral rock formations, very close to the oceans. And we always figure out why Orange Hill is the best in the West. Well, partly through the coral formation, the ocean pushes the water right through the rocks, comes down in all those caves. I'm going to show you a little. Beautiful water, a little brownish, and a little bit salt. Probably another trick for the growers here. They pump 2,000-3,000 liters an hour with a diesel pump, 200 liters to the field. Then it goes in a big container and goes to all the plants. So one of the secrets of Orange Hill. Ras, this purple one, huh? How many years do you have those seeds?
We used to work with the 6-month weed first.
Yeah.
That's why I stepped
Okay, so you move from a 6-month strain now to
down to 8 week.
8 week.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 months.
2 months.
So you cut next week, 1 week away.
Yes,
But these seeds, how long you have them? You have any how many years?
never keep track of how long we keep.
Yeah.
The first seeds from Amsterdam, when did they came in this area? And the first real high grade, which year we're talking about? 1990 or 95? Or?
No, sorry, not so long.
Not so long?
You knew what man, fresh in idea.
Fresh,
Man,
yeah.
yeah, man, it's a new strain. As I say, where you say it come from?
So what you used to use before that strain?
Amsterdam. God, man, I guess.
The real purple, eh?
This is one we have two really special plants in. There you have a cross with the purple.
Yeah.
You don't see often purple anymore like he does now.
But this is really white widow with the purple on it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's like 15% purple in this field. Like 1 on 6, 4 on 7.
Yeah, at least.
Mixed.
Mixed,
all
eh?
over, all over.
How many years you have purple?
I'm coming out of business because I like the purple.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
keep
so a
it.
long time you have them.
So when we breed this strain,
Yeah.
we select them.
Yes.
Select for purple.
Yes.
Respect, dude.
Yeah, man. I like the most to the world, you know. I want to get man. Yeah, man, Shanty. Represent, you know. Boy, yeah, boy. Yeah, man, that's all nothing, you know. Boy, yeah, boy. Diamond balls, 600 balls. Taking them down, taking them down. Lightning balls, 600 balls. Taking them down. Yeah. Lightning balls, 600 balls.
Full bright pink hair.
You see how intense that purple is?
Incredible. It's neon. Neon.
Purple, no?
Like
Pink. You guys
neon.
call it pink?
Yeah.
No, it's purple.
Color
This one is
blind.
purple. This one is purple, but it's light purple. It's fluor.
It look like a more fluorescent pink.
It's fluor. And the resin already on this one is ready. This one is finished.
Which area are we now? Macopin.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
This is the side of the most wanted.
Most
most
wanted.
wanted.
That's
Yeah.
famous because even in St. Vincent, you remember that little place? You
Yeah,
see the
we were in
poster?
St. Vincent. We
And in Amsterdam we have the posters called Most Wanted. You see all different strains on it.
Well, they have a good strain of water still. They have same thing with Orange Hill water truck. They have the same buy water from the water truck. Same way. Yeah.
See when I was coming up with salt, so a big pipe also, a big pipeline. So most of the water system
Sure,
will be better.
yeah, sure.
And it's coming.
When you drive up here,
Yeah.
your cars stay like this coming up, so they really up on the high climate.
Yeah, sure,
So they have a
sure.
good growth here too.
Yeah, because you look to the other side, you see everywhere
Field,
full,
eh?
eh?
All the way field. All the way.
So how does helicopters do that? They just land in the
Yeah,
field?
they gotta strap down from rope.
They strap down?
Yeah, but from rope and just chop down on the rope. Come through and they start chopping and burning when they get up. When they know where a field is actually at, they send choppers there, just chop down the troops them. Chop down and burn down.
They just burn it down,
Yeah, burn it out.
troops out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
So me say puff, puff, puff and pass. When we want enough grass,
Serious with the herbs don't cause you must cough. Weed make we happy so we must a weed laugh. We fi stack up in at the bus just pass. Bees could have preach through the telescope class. Me a smoke weed for lunch, drink tea for breakfast. Brains to take off just like a spacecraft. No feed it makes me hear for that. Hey, strange hunter. Yeah. Say nothing, you know.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Mark up head with there, you know.
Yeah.
Highest grade.
Highest.
Hey.
Especially if you're really stoned now, you go really into these plants, you know, like as you're around, you see all these different phenotypes. You see the. Nah, you were stoned too, Chris.
No.
You've been smoking too much gum, man.
No, what you saying, right? It's like when you on this ship, you look at this plant, you go to a different dimension, you see all type of different motherfucking colors, you start smoking your whole self, like, wow. See? This is fucking gold, this is fucking, you know, like, every time you look at it, it's different. What the fuck? Overclass.
Life in Jamaica.
Life in Jamaica.
Sometimes in life, you gotta fight for what is right. All times in life, you have to walk with confidence by your side. In this great life.
Whoa! That's a dry house. Whoa, man.
That's all the weed that came from that field that we saw 2 months ago. That's
Yeah.
just incredible, huh?
Wow.
This is most wanted.
Yes, sir. You have a lot of gentlemen will come from there here and buy at a cheaper rate, get back down there and put 3-4 grand on the weed. They do that for years.
I am?
Years they always come here and buy it for a cheaper rate, get back a nigger and add a 2-3 grand onto the weed.
How much is here?
About 100 to 200. About
100 to 200,
170 to 200.
Everybody talks about this is really high-grade Jamaican. They don't even realize it comes from Europe before from the Americans, you know? High-grade Jamaican, this is what all they want.
I travel all over the place. Like every time I travel, I gotta carry me even if a split for this blood clot. I'm not gonna that. Yo, anyway you see me in Jamaica, but yo, I dismiss smoke orange chip. Remember Madelia?
Most wanted.
Most wanted Jamaica 2011. We don't care about time, we care about quality.
Yes, well, hey Frank, you look really fucking happy.
Yeah, man, the pagan them say we're not gonna make it, you know. But till I said, so we're gonna miss them up. Come, we go chant from Babylon one more time. Still I see alright. Come, we go chant from Babylon one more time. Time, Vicky. Come, we go chant from Babylon one more time. Still I see alright.
This is the only thing that we find that within Jamaica there is a trickery that went on in 1962 where these two political tricksters went to England and signed for their own political freedom to kill the people. For 1963 we see the Prime Minister send out all his armies and forces to kill the people in Coral Garden in St. James. We know that the Coral Garden massacre. He was said, kill Rastas, kill Rastas. What did Rasta do? Rastas never take arms against the government, the people, no one in Jamaica. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. If you give him a fish, you only feed him for the night. So that's life, you know, where we need sustainability. Jamaica is the richest country in the world, and you see you have the poorest people.
How many farmers you think depend on this here in Jamaica?
This area?
No, in the whole Jamaica, you have any idea? There's 2.7 million people
depend
on ganja.
Well, listen to me now. Jamaica, you see, if you read the statistics, they tell you that unemployment is about 20%. And when you take a check, you see, that unemployment figure, that employed figure, is also farmers with the farm planting ganja just the same. So you see, all those other 20%, 99% of them have to be here in the farm planting ganja.
Otherwise they wouldn't survive.
They wouldn't survive. They have to depend on this. The big politicians, they are the hypocrite. That's why they keep it like this. They want to continue making money from it. And the poor people make nothing. When the police go and take it, the police go back and sell it. It's a business where they continue to keep the people poor and poverty.
We think it's a few 100 million people around the equator in the world that depend the children to the school, the medicine.
Crop that can save planet Earth. This is some herbal tea made from the ganja plant.
Wow.
Yeah, so the most potent plant. It has a lot of medicinal values that we know from our ancestors till this time. They used to use it for different ailments. So it's a tradition we continue in this time to drink herbal tea from the gourd.
What other medicinal purposes it has these days that people use it in Jamaica?
For asthmatic cures, bronchitis, glaucoma,
I can use some of that, man.
sinusitis.
Sinus, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Good for putting pillars.
Yes. And every home in Jamaica has a bottle with some white rum, green ganja, and pimento as your first aid medicine.
Pimiento.
Pimento berries and ginger. And it's one of the first aid medicine for all homes in Jamaica.
What about the rest for life, you know, like the spiritual part? How do you guys work with that here in the mountains?
It is like it's our sacrament that we use for our own meditation, and also a teacher for the plants actually as a spirit that talks, that reach out to you if you know how to reach out to the plants. They teaches and soothe and heal the spirit and the soul of man.
Yeah, how often you meditate?
Every right through the day.
Right through the
No
day.
special time.
No special time.
It's very, very interesting to see that already our great-great-grandmothers and fathers were using a cannabis as a medicine. We know that before 1930, 80% of world's medicine was a direct derivative of a cannabis plant or an extraction of a cannabis plant before the 1930s. And still in the local communities where they have absolutely no money to buy medicine, like in the area of Ishpin, where the people completely depend on their local organic farmer, they use cannabis as a medicine for children and elderly.
This is an all-purpose medicine, you know. Like if you have all of straight food, simple, you come in and the rain will wet you up. And you feel all cold in some cold weather. You just come in and take a cork out of here and sip lick up on your tongue. And you use the rest of it and rub up your body.
How long you have to fermentate it with the berries and with the marijuana before you use it?
No, sometimes, like that one is about 1 year old.
1 year old?
Yeah.
So we take a sip?
Yeah, man, it's a great thing if you have a sip, man. Not like that, Franco. You take a cork, you can't take surplus.
See it go down. Under the tongue.
They also use it for small children?
Yeah.
What kind of
like
problems?
If the small children have cold, like a baby have cold, have flu, you just use it and rub him up and wrap him up in a sheet and him is alright.
And if they have cramps?
If you have belly cramps, I eat that.
Yeah.
You see? And the children them still can't drink it, you know, but you give them a small amount. It's not a thing when you're sick, you know, to be sick. It's strong. Strong. Oh. Strong.
Man, it's strong, eh?
Strong.
Strong stuff.
Make it for 1 year, man, you see green.
Oh.
Green, man, right to the car, man. You drink right at it.
That's 80%.
Yeah.
Maybe 90%.
That's what's in it that makes it strong.
It's like centerba. In Italy, of centerba is the same stuff. It's incredible.
Another one.
Oh, I need to cool down.
Drink some.
Yeah, man.
What is in there?
Noni.
What's noni?
You show your food.
That's usually tree.
What the fuck you guys throwing?
Whoa! Ooh, that's not even scary.
I'm really about to puke.
Yeah, you have to drink it.
This one is good for your back. This
For
one
your back?
Cancer.
Cancer?
Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer.
Frustrating.
Prostate.
Or prostate?
Yeah, cancer. This one very good for it.
And this one?
This one good for it. Cancer. In pain. In asthma. Rheumatism. Cramp. Everything. Your eye. Noni. Very good.
You have one for sex also?
You will stop.
If you're like...
You will stop. You will stop. You will make you overdo.
Yeah?
Yeah. Two over few.
Where's the bottom?
This one can. There's special one. See there.
How long you live in this area? You have all beautiful coconut, papayas.
Yeah. I will live here on 56 years old.
56 years?
Yeah.
How old are you?
56.
You're 50, you're born here?
Yeah.
In this house?
Yes, right in this house.
Really?
That house, yeah.
And you smoke every day the chalice?
Yes. Only the chalice. Yeah.
Only the chalice,
Yeah,
nothing
Chalice
else.
is the fire.
Nothing else.
Charas in Jamaica.
Charas in Jamaica.
How many grams a day you can make?
200.
What, with the hands?
Yes, with the hand.
200 grams?
When the sun is very hot. Yeah, we make up to 200 grams per day.
Wow. And how many times you do it?
For the plant?
Yeah?
We make like 3 times, 2 times 1 plant.
3 times.
Yes, 1 plant.
And then after, you leave the plant growing and you sell the bud.
Yes.
So you actually have 2 times benefits or 3 times of this plant. And how many different ways of smoking do you have of the charas here?
No, not only chill split, some just light it and
as well as a paper clip.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Because
it's alright.
Before the local blend would take 6 months to grow.
Yes.
Now these hybrids that come from Europe, 3 months and they're ready.
Yes.
They are potent, but when they are in Jamaica, with the Jamaican earth and sunlight, they are much better and stronger than what you get in
Europe. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
But every 3 years you have to buy new seeds because then it dilutes with the local bushweed?
Most likely.
Most likely, yeah? This is what happened, eh?
Yeah, depends on how you cultivate your plant.
But after 3-4 years you have to get new seeds. You have to start over again.
Yes.
So how many hours a day you're up?
As long as sunlight, sometimes 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
Yeah, as long as there's sun.
Yeah, it's a hard job.
But there are a lot of other jobs out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it's a nice job doing something getting high.
So the organic farmers have created a really nice way of making extra money for themselves and their families to send the children to school and to buy the necessary groceries like salt and sugar by creating another product called charas here in Jamaica and having the benefit of making now 2 products of 1 plant. So how many grams is 1 hand?
Depends on the...
2?
No, it depends on the sunlight.
Yes.
If more sunlight, there's more grams. You can get up to 20 grams on 1 hand.
You can get up to 20 grams on 1 hand?
Yes.
For how long you work for 20 grams on 1 hand?
Probably half hour.
Half hour to an hour.
If the sun was very hot.
But you don't see people doing it all over Jamaica, eh?
No, they don't know the culture. It's here in the mountains.
Only here in the mountains.
Yeah, we have this culture for ourselves.
Yes. And it's only in this area where this happens, the good one.
We make good charas.
Yeah.
Because here the ganja has no gum.
Tell us that the bad thing, how to lose it, and the good thing, go and choose it. Be yourself in this time.
And how long is this happening here, making charas in the mountains?
It's been here from over 50, 60 years.
50, 60 years?
Yeah.
So you learned from your father and that before. That's how long charas making is happening?
I knew my grandfather planting ganja in these mountains.
And making charas?
And making charas. Yeah.
Where did it come before? Where do you think your great-grandfather learned it from? You have any idea?
Africa.
Africa? But which part, you think?
Ghana, Gambia, Gold Coast, all of them places, the ganja
Okay.
Ganja all over the world, you know.
You think from West Africa?
You see, hashish is really what I call Arab word, you know.
Yeah, assassin come from there.
Yeah. So they make hashish with them, but we usually smoke our ganja as ganja, but they make hashish from here for export to Europe possibly, or, you know, easier transportation, and they usually smoke hashish.
Yes.
For if you do hashish is different from charas.
Yeah.
Hashish is combined with other mixtures with other things. Hashish is brown.
Yeah, it made from that plant. This is made from a live plant. This is the big difference.
Yes.
Then we have to look the food is for the child. Yes, like survivor. It's the child from the longest time.
Yeah, really good taste.
And then for now Ashanti, representing for the mothers,
When you go strain hunting, there's got to be also some relaxing moments. We walk a lot. We don't sleep much. The food is sometimes a bit irregular. And after 2, 3, 4, 5 days of this rhythm, you also need to take a little bit of a rest. And for us in Jamaica, the rest was the jungle spa.
My mama was there cooking but a random Slim one soup and could not find pumpkin. Mr. She said not go to school from home. So could not be no something. No auntie come up and I go to be confronted. And every day I go up. She teach me not to eat and not to do hard. Tell your mama love. It's like a blessing from above. Teach me not to eat and not to do hard. She really make me fly away just like a dove.
Well, with Stray Hunters, what we consciously try to do is to stay with local people and to stay in local hotels and local accommodation, and for the most part that's for a number of reasons. One, because we're able to connect better with the people, but occasionally we find ourselves going to horrible, really horrible, or being forced to stay in really horrible hotels and accommodation like that. So we did have to do that one night, and it was actually really good for us to see the other side of Jamaica, to see the Jamaica that they try to portray for the tourists, which is very different to the real thing which we get to experience.
Yeah. Hot. Let them know.
How many of these you smoke a day?
Never stop. 21.
21.
And night 21 straight. If I herb, I just stop burning right tonight. I man smoke till I man get a certain knowledge out of the smoking. Yes. I don't put it down. And it's a harmless, it's a blessed thing. The herb, I see. Yes, this thing, the government never like a people for this thing. This thing grow, we come go see it in the world, then we still make something out of it. And even if someone man, this herb can bring income again. Yeah. In the whole world, we're talking about smoking. I mean, no one tell us smoking is the best in the world. I see that. Yeah. I don't want no bad vibes around, no good vibes all the time. There. We Rasta, alright, come to change it right now. Bob Marley. Yeah. And future. You see, the government in Jamaica, what they cut from in Jamaica, you know why? What? If the free Rasta, Bob Marley, put him on a hero. Then the world free. We are in the world.
And of course, not even a highway is named after him.
No. Yeah.
Not even a highway.
No, so
nothing.
Everything go to Rasta, everything go right there. To Rasta.
How can it be that not even a highway is named after him?
See him. 20 people to live, to survive. That is it.
When you travel, you experience. And when you experience the good and you experience the bad at the same time. It's very interesting. It's a learning process. And for me, this learning process culminated in 9 Mile. 9 Mile is the mausoleum of Bob Marley. It's where Bob Marley has been put to rest in 1981 after his death. I always kept in my heart a very romantic image of it. I always thought that 9 Miles would have been a very spiritual place, linked to the real image and the real meaning behind Bob Marley. And when we got there and we realized that we were actually entering a Disneyland-style operation, it was very disappointing.
Why you fight against me? Speak up. Because me there, so I hold me voice and no guns, me no pizza.
When we went to Black River, we definitely encountered one of the most special and spectacular environments in all of Jamaica. Black River is a very swampy area. There's even crocodiles crawling around in the salty waters all over the place. And the fields there are not really fields, are more like islands in the middle of the swamp. We took little canoes and we started going down the river, looking for spots, looking for grow areas. And we had the chance, thanks to 2 or 3 local guides that were really connected with our guides, we had the chance to access these very small patches but incredible technique.
Oh, Peace and Love, ben voilà, c'est tout simplement l'auteur. Comme vous pouvez y voir ici, ben voilà l'auteur qui a réalisé un peu son passage à République dominicaine, les trois couleurs évidemment de l'histoire, île d'esclavage, donc que du bonheur pour vous montrer tout simplement cette beauté avec la beauté de tout simplement du plus grand, on va dire du plus grand, celui qui a donné tout un sens à Amsterdam au niveau des coffee shops du cannabis, le roi du cannabis, voilà.
Exactly. We are in the peak, so to speak, of our water.
It's basically natural hydroponics. That's basically what it comes down to. They allow the cannabis plant to grow at full contact with the water. The natural system of the swamps provides nutrients and water to the plants. So it's a very self-sufficient, very guerrilla style way of growing.
Only in the Mekong Delta in Vietnam they do also a little bit like this.
Yeah, I knew that. Right?
Mekong Delta, a lot of rivers, they grow in the water there.
Yes, yes.
You ever have problem with fungus, mold?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
How many times a year can you plant? 4 times, 5 times?
12 times.
12
months.
12 months.
12 months. you push about, you send out your resume 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Still waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not coming?
Jobless. Yeah man, jobless.
Jobless.